All right, what's up, y'all? So I've got example weekly workouts that I'm going to share with you today. Now, whether you've got access to a gym or you work out at home or you're on the road, this is the way to structure your weekly workouts. And in fact, this is exactly how I structure my workouts. These workouts were pulled from example workouts that I made for my clients, and I've created them to be flexible for any situation and also to focus on the most important things. So as I go through this, if you have questions, comments, any feedback, just throw it in the comments. I'm going to walk you through this entire document. Now, first of all, I don't have to emphasize the importance of resistance training, but I'm going to make a short plug for it right now. Your best use of time when working out is going to be resistance training because that's going to build muscle, it's going to build strength, it's going to build capability and functionality. It's going to strengthen your body and it's going to strengthen your bones. Now, to get there, we want to focus on the strength-based skills. So ideally, you're going to resistance train each of the strength-based skills at least one time per week, up to 2 times per week. And as a review, let's go through the strength-based skills. We got the squat, which is self-explanatory. We got the deadlift, which is bending over at the hips, hinging at the hips to pick up a dead weight off the ground. We've got pushes, which are pushing things away from you. We got pulls, and we got overhead presses. Now, we also use carries, like farmer's carries, and planks as part of our working out, but they're not considered strength-based skills. Now, within each of these strength-based skills, you've got a ton of variations. So if you have a lot of equipment because you're training different capacity, or you've also got these variations in case your equipment is limited and you can choose the thing that you can do the easiest. So for example, within squats, we've got the barbell squat, where you're putting a barbell on your back, or you're putting a barbell into a front rack position. We got dumbbell squats, where you're holding 2 dumbbells in the front rack position. You can also hold a dumbbell in the goblet position. You can hold a kettlebell in the goblet position. You've got lunges, forward stepping lunges, backward stepping lunges, weighted lunges, where you're holding onto some weight. You got step ups, and then you got machine leg press if your gym has machines, and that's all you have access to or all you feel comfortable with. Next, within deadlifts, we can do deadlifts with a barbell. We can do deadlifts with 2 dumbbells. We can do deadlifts with a kettlebell. We can even do single arm deadlifts. We call them suitcase deadlifts. Then for pushes, we've got the body weight push-up or your modification. It could be from the knees or it could be from an elevated position. We've also got the dumbbell bench press and the barbell bench press. And if your gym has machines, we got the machine press. And then we've also got a banded press. For your pulling motion, you can do pull-ups or your variation of a pull-up as you're working towards getting a pull-up. We've also got other motions that mimic pulling, so like a bent over dumbbell row, a bent over barbell row, a machine row, and then banded rows. And then finally, within the overhead pressing, we've got dumbbell overhead pressing, barbell overhead pressing, machine overhead pressing, and banded overhead pressing. Now, before I get into the workouts, I want to stress the importance of warming up. You want to make sure that you have a good warm-up. It shouldn't take you very long, just a few minutes. But a good warm-up checklist is that your temperature is elevated, like you literally feel warmer. Your respiration, your heart rate's increased. Your body feels loose and limber. Your joints feel fluid and not stiff or creaky. And you're mentally focused on what you're about to do. And that's part of the warm-up. Sometimes you start a workout and you don't feel like doing it, but by the time you get through a warm-up, you're ready to go. And also a note on sets and repetitions. All right, when I say reps, reps means repetitions. And repetitions are a series of the movement strung together. So if I'm doing squats and I do 5 squats, that's 5 repetitions. A set is a group of repetitions. So when training for strength and muscle growth, you want to aim for about 5 to 10 repetitions per set. And then you want to do as many sets as it takes you to get up to something challenging. So I like to use what I call the warm-up method. And the warm-up method is you start with very little weight, if any at all, and then with each set of your repetitions, you're slowly, incrementally increasing your weight until you get up to a set or several sets that are challenging. Because remember, we want to force an adaptation. And so we need those last sets and reps to be challenging. And then just make sure that you rest enough in between sets to feel recovered for your next set. Now, remember when I said for strength and muscle growth, you're looking for 5 to 10 repetitions per set? Now, when I say 5 to 10 repetitions, that means for every workout, you want to choose your repetition scheme. And so what I like to do is choose a rep scheme for the week, and I'll start with 5 reps per set for the first week. The next week I'll do 6 reps per set, and I'll work my way up to 10 reps per set, and then I'll cycle back to 5 reps per set. Now, as I go through these workouts, I'm assuming that you have at least 1 day to work out per week, but ideally 3 days to work out per week. And we got 1 workout that's 4 days per week. On other days that are not your resistance training days, you can do things that you enjoy. And if you're not sure where to start, I would start with a total body workout and then work your way down this list. And even if you're a fitness enthusiast and you've been working out for a while, I still find it useful to rotate through these different splits. All right, so the first workout is the total body workout, and this is perfect for beginners. It's also perfect if you're looking to be time efficient because you're hitting every body part, every one of the strength-based skills in one workout. And you can do this 1 day per week, up to 3 days per week, as long as you have a rest day in between your workout days. All right, so you're going to choose your rep scheme, and you're going to do 3 to 5 sets or rounds of a 100 to 300 meter carry. Usually that's going to be a farmer's carry, carrying 2 weights in your hand. It could be carrying anything that you have. And if you're not sure how far 100 meters to 300 meters is, you can think 1 minute to 3 minutes. And then as soon as you're done with that carry, you're going to go right into your squats. As soon as you're done with your squats, you're going to go right into your deadlifts. As soon as you're done with your deadlifts, you'll go right into your pulls. As soon as you're done with your pulls, you'll go right into your pushes. As soon as you're done with your pushes, you go right into your overhead press. And then you'll finish with a plank hold. And then you'll rest as long as needed, shake it out, and then try to do that for as many more rounds as you have time. Each round, you can increase the weight that you're using or increase the difficulty of the movement that you're performing. All right, the next workout is a 3-day split. 3-day split means that you're splitting up those strength-based skills between 3 days. So if you're working out for 3 days a week, you're hitting every one of those strength-based skills one time in a week. Now, this is perfect for people looking to step it up a notch from the total body workout. It's also perfect for people that need more rest and recuperation for each body part. So if you got 3 days to work out in the week, day 1, you're doing deadlifts and pushes. Day 2, you're doing overhead presses. And day 3, you're doing squats and pulls. Now, if you have time, following your strength-based skills, following your resistance training, I put together a little conditioning workout. And the conditioning workout is where you're basically stringing together a series of movements and doing them at very lightweight or no weight to increase your heart rate just a little bit, but you're also still focusing on the strength-based skills of the day. So for example, on day 1, after you do your strength-based skills resistance training with deadlifts and pushes, you're going to take a break, and then you'll go into 3 to 5 rounds of 200 meter carry or 2-minute carry, 10 light deadlifts, 5 to 10 burpees, or an easy push, 30 to 45 second plank hold, and then you're going to rest and repeat that a couple more times. And I have conditioning for each one of these days. Next, we have the 2-day split. And that means you're splitting up all the strength-based skills between 2 days. And if you're working out 3 days, that means you're going to hit every strength-based skill 1.5 times per week. Now, I think this is the perfect balance of frequency and rest. This is my default way of working out. All right, so day 1, you're doing deadlifts, pushes, and overhead presses. Day 2, you're doing squats and pulls. And then day 3, you're circling back to the same things you did on day 1, which are deadlifts, pushes, and overhead presses. And then the following week, you would start with day 2. If that's confusing or if you have any questions, just put it in the comments. And then again, if you have time, I've got a conditioning workout put together. After a short break, you go into these series of movements and you do a few rounds of it at a lighter weight, which is designed to get your heart rate up a little bit and still allow you to focus on the strength-based skills of the day. The final workout split is a 2-day split where you're working out every body part 2 times per week, because this is assuming that you can work out 4 days a week. Now, this is the most volume that I'd recommend. It's intense training. So when you're doing this consistently for a period of time, you really need to pay attention to how your body feels and take rest and breaks when you need to. But the flow of the days is the same as the other 2-day split. 2-day split, remember, means that we're getting every body part, every strength-based skill in 2 days. And since we're working out 4 days, we get to repeat each one twice. So day 1, you've got deadlift, push, and overhead presses. Day 2, you've got squats and pulls. Day 3, you're circling back to deadlifts, push, and overhead presses. Day 4, you're back to squats and pulls. And then if you have time, I have a little conditioning workout for each one of those days. Now, as another option, if you don't have time to go to the gym, you can simply stay active through the day by taking breaks and doing these same strength-based skills during breaks throughout the day. And I've got 2 options. One option is where you focus on one strength-based skill every day. So for example, Mondays are your squat days. And every time you take a break throughout the day, you work on your squats. Tuesdays are your deadlifts. So every time you take a break, you're working on your deadlifts. Wednesdays are your pushes. Thursdays are your pulls. Fridays are your overhead presses. Saturdays are for carries. Sundays are for planks. If you're doing one of those movements every time you take a break, at the end of the day, you have a cumulative workout. Now, the other option is every break you do a different movement. So you're basically doing a total body workout every day because you're cycling through all the strength-based skills. So for break number 1, you do some carries. For break number 2, you do a plank hold. For break number 3, you do some pulls. For break number 4, you do some pushes. For break number 5, you do some overhead presses. For break number 6, you do squats. For break number 7, you do deadlifts. But the same idea here is that At the end of the day, you have a cumulative workout. Now, on a final note, if you're not sure how to do these different movements, I'll be providing that information as time goes on. This is where it helps to work with a personal trainer. YouTube can be a great resource. And then I've got some other reminders and useful information in here. I know this is a lot of information, but I also feel like you can grasp it. But if you have any questions or comments or feedback, just throw it in the comments. Keep it real.